Very often, something really unexpected happens. A scandalous news breaks. A public figure is found in a web of lies, fraud, or maybe something as serious as rape. And just when we all think justice will be served, it usually turns out that the evidence used to expose them was obtained illegally. Take the recent case of Sean Combs, popularly known as P. Diddy. There has been a number of allegations, lawsuits, and even a federal raid on his properties. But imagine if down the line it turns out that some of the evidence being used against him were obtained illegally. Does that mean the case falls apart? Would all charges be dropped? And that brings me to the big question. Can illegally obtained evidence still be used in court? Should the criminal be allowed to go scot-free just because of how the evidence was collected? Now, what is illegally obtained evidence? This can be any proof that is gathered in violation of the law. It could be through forced confessions, illegal searches, or unauthorized surveillance. What happens to illegally obtained evidence? In many legal systems, including the UK, the US, Canada, and some parts of the EU, there is something called the exclusionary rule. Now, what does this mean? It simply means that if any evidence was collected illegally, it cannot be used in court. Now, the goal here is to discourage law enforcement from breaking the law. But there are exceptions. So, what are the exceptions? When can illegally obtained evidence be used? Number one, the good faith exception. If the police made an honest mistake, like acting on an arrest warrant that was later found to be void, that collected evidence might still be valid in court. Two, the inevitable discovery rule. If the collected evidence might still have been found legally anyways, then it might be admitted in court. And lastly, the public safety exception. If the police violate procedure in trying to prevent an imminent threat, such collected evidence might be valid in court. Now, what about in Nigeria? Courts have more discretion. They can decide to admit illegally obtained evidence based on fairness. Unlike in the US, Nigerian judges often focus on the relevance of the evidence and not how it was obtained. But this does not apply to forced confessions. Question for you. Should the law focus on how evidence was found or if it proves guilt? Should the court admit illegally evidence or throw it out? Share your thoughts in the comments, and as always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow, and I'll see you in the next one.